And we're back.
From New York.
What a triumphant. I'm actually excited, and I'm going to ruin it by talking about it.
Okay, go for it, since we have some time to fill here.
You think we're going to have you think this will be low on topics? Low on topics?
I don't think so. I think we have to recount our magical weekend in New York.
I still have...
I'm just not quite over it yet because it's Sunday night, and I've been up since 5:15 New York time.
I want to thank Josh for doing this special taping on Sunday night. I even remembered to do did you do a question thing?
Yes, I did.
Did I get the right number?
Yes, you did.
I was so impressed with myself. But then I thought to myself, why? What is so impressive about that?
Well,
and then I thought, Josh will be proud of me. What is good about that? Nobody wins with that kind of relationship.
It's true.
Because eventually, I build resentment. I place you on a pedestal.
You weren't proud of me for the right hashtag number that time.
You never said anything nice about my suit jacket at the opening, the world premiere.
I think you will be on the wall of Jimmy O's for that.
I brought a Jimmy. I didn't get a chance to flash it to anybody.
You flashed it to me, though.
No, because you asked about it. You said, "Is that a Jimmy O?" You said, and it was very hard because a lot of times Josh has made the statement that he has hurt his back trying to get down to my level. You know what I mean? It's a little hard in the back. I mean, the thing is, someone accused me of sizeism today, jokingly. Yeah. But I kind of do use size with this thing like, yeah, I'm 5'5.5" though. You know what I'm saying? So I make the jokes, but everybody knows I'm not really that short. Isn't that what it's based on?
It is. That's why you played a jockey in the movie.
The movie, what an experience, and I hope that, wait, is this going out tomorrow?
No.
Everybody go away from me. Just get away from me. I was so pleasantly surprised. Not even pleasantly surprised. I was actually excited before the movie. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And you can't watch yourself I can't watch myself objectively. And nothing I saw, I thought I was more one note. There was at least 2 to 3 to 4 notes.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool.
Wait, so you're saying you thought going in you were one note and you discovered the other notes upon watching it?
Well, we both... I'm
not questioning that. I'm saying, is that what you're saying?
Well, no, it's not so much that. It's more like we had this discussion that you said, boy, I wonder how well you'd act if you had the script memorized. You
is that what I said?
No, you didn't. No, but it was like there were many takes where I was looking for words that weren't used, obviously.
All right.
And I thought it all came out confused on the day, like not enough different levels of me.
Yeah.
And that's because I think we filmed it all in a crunch or a clump, and I felt that way. But I thought he edited it so well. I just didn't. That was not a negative I had towards myself. I mean, I can always think I could do things better.
Right.
But I don't even know how.
So you were happy is what you're saying.
Very happy.
Excellent.
And you were amazing in the movie.
Well, you were too, Andy.
Yeah, but Josh, everybody knows I'm a genius.
Right.
Look, I've been on the boards. I was on have I mentioned I was on Everybody Loves Raymond 29 episodes or something like that? You've had acting experience, but I mean, not as much. I don't know. You haven't had as much. Why? Who cares? Who's had more experience? I'm just saying that we were both nervous about you doing it because you hadn't done anything so big.
Yeah.
Before.
Oh, yeah.
And you got mad at me even at one point because I said, you're going to be great. And you went, how the hell do you know I'm going to be great? Remember that discussion?
No, you were like, you're a natural.
You're a natural. I realized that I was a little pouring it on a little thick there.
Yeah.
But no, I really did believe that. But I didn't know. First of all, I didn't know that you'd be completely non-Jewish. Like, there's nothing similar about us except for glasses.
Right. You're not wearing them in the movie.
I'm not wearing them in the movie. We're both very attractive. We're knocked down. And Paula was unbelievable in the movie, and I didn't know how great she would be. But her little looks to you...
I did know she was going to be great because I acted with her doing the scenes, but it held together as a great performance. She did great.
And
she's super good.
Yeah. So what's your take?
My take was, I think it worked. I think he did a great job of taking a micro-budget movie and making it look like a low-budget movie. It's not. It's professional in its taste. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's not lowbrow. It's not, you know what I mean? It's none of those things.
Yeah, I think CJ's taste is excellent, not just in actors.
What do you mean? Because he picked you.
But but he has. I think he applied an aesthetic to the movie, and not everyone can be consistent with that aesthetic the way he did.
I am amazed by, and of course Mallory Mallory is the definition
Kennedy.
of the word unflappable.
Yes,
and so
it was it was a very, very difficult task to put all that together with the resources that they had, and they did an amazing job. I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of them, and I'm proud of you, and I was proud of myself.
Yes, you should be proud of yourself. And the thing is, here's what my fear would be. And not a fear, but just like, you don't know how you're going to look, and people are going to go, why did Andy have a kazoo up his ass? Whatever the thing is. But there were none of those scenes in there. But I don't know, it's just the fear of having so much time on screen. I thought, and I'm not concerned about any of it because I think the tone is so interesting of the movie. And interesting in like you could see what was in his head on the script. You see like that residence where they had the party.
Yeah.
You read that in the script, or you read the dialogue between the women, the catty dialogue. And it's not like sounds like something you've heard before, but I didn't realize how great it would be, how he captured. It was, to me, they're like low rent rich people in a way. Like, I don't mean low rent, like in a negative way, just like nobody there is like I want to say Rockefeller, but nobody there is they're all competing in a small pool.
Right.
And they're also mean, and they're kind of assholes. So I really loved how I was kind of like an asshole and I felt that way about myself at the end. Like
you were an asshole?
Yeah, it's like, what this fucking asshole? Here he goes again. Here he goes again with his excuses.
Yeah. No, I thought it was great. I mean, he clearly, he wrote the part for you, and you played what he wrote. I don't mean that to minimize it.
No, you're not minimizing.
I mean, like, you did a really good job of being the version of Andy Kindler he was dreaming of, I think.
And the thing is, the more you talk about yourself, and I plan to do it a lot, and I plan to go inside the actor's studio. And I'm not watching the new version of Inside the Actors Studio. Here's the thing.
Is it Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, I don't want Alec Baldwin to punch me in the face. He's one of these guys I'm afraid of. Mm-hmm. He's going to like, hey, what the fuck are you saying? Thought spiral. Like he's listening to, but, he's one of those guys. He doesn't wear well to me. He's too much. I mind him doing comedy. I don't want him. It reaches a level of saturation.
Yeah, I can see that. I used to listen to his podcast interviews some from WNYC or whatever he did.
Was that bad? That might be better.
It wasn't bad. I mean, yeah, he's pretentious, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
He's a bucket full of Alec Baldwin, but he's smart. He's a smart dude.
Well, the original show was a campy show to me. The guy was so full of himself.
But I don't think he meant it as that.
But that's what was enjoyable to me.
Right.
I would like to read you the 5 questions from Bernard Pivot. What is the sound that most makes you have a sound? Is he dead?
I don't know.
I don't think he is. I enjoyed asking it, though. But I used to know, I might watch that show for 2 reasons in the old days. He had some good interviews.
Yeah.
But I loved the pretentiousness of it, too. Of him, especially.
Right.
And but I guess also Alec Baldwin is pretentious.
Yes, he is.
Have you watched any of the episodes?
No, I barely knew it existed until very recently.
I don't remember who was in the first episode, but he's getting some heavy hitters, I'll tell you that. The Fonz. So I guess that's a weird choice to me.
Henry Winkler? Maybe if you don't call him the Fonz.
I'll tell you why.
It might seem like a more well-rounded career.
I've always been on the Gilbert Gottfried realm of this thing.
Yeah.
Gilbert Gottfried does a whole bit about they wanted a tougher time. I got a perfect idea, a short Jewish man. And I kind of feel that way about the Fonzie character. It never really worked for me. I can't see talking about that on an acting show. Good night. All right. The look I got from you, I don't even think if it was the look, but it could have been the look. It was like, I don't want to get into a pop culture discussion about how you don't like the Fonz. I can't argue with it.
I think you read me like a book there, pretty much.
Or, where are we going with this? Where are we going with your edgy, incisive observations about the Fonz? I don't think you've looked at it enough.
No worse. Gilbert Gottfried's observation about the Fonz.
Well, that's true. But also, that's another show that I like the movie. Another show, like I had these weird concepts in my mind that show would be like American Graffiti, the movie, and it never was, and so I never watched it.
Yeah.
Was it an outgrowth of that movie?
No.
Why do I say it then?
I don't know. One was Gary Marshall, one was George Lucas.
So?
Happy Days was actually a spin-off from Love American Style.
Oh. That was a better show, and
an
that
episode of Love American Style.
And that was a better show, and that show wasn't good. No, I don't know. That show I loved as a kid with Norman Fell, and there was It's Truer Than the Red, White, and Blue. And they were sexy. As a kid, I thought, oh, look at these sexy bits.
Yeah.
But they weren't that sexy.
Well, in their day, when you were, when your option was cranking off to catalogs.
I don't want to say... and the thing that was weird was I used to jerk off to just regular Sears catalogs. Sears catalogs.
That's
Was that what you were saying?
Yeah.
I don't think you could be saying just catalogs. You meant like catalogs of bras or something.
Well, Sears had that section.
Just shut up, both of us.
All right, good night, everybody. Thanks for coming over. I'm tired. Good night.
We picked up a nice tab in New York, like a Big Shots. Me and you.
Yeah, but the classier thing would be to not talk about it.
No, let me tell you something. Johnny Torito, I don't know how much drinks he had, comped. The thing that was nice about it is we picked up a nice, healthy tab before people knew that you could order food.
Right.
We ordered it at our table. Why am I do you think I'll ever be, like, not classy, but appropriate in any way?
I don't know. 63? Probably not.
No, it's over. Do you know who won the festival?
I don't. CJ was going to the thing
Tonight?
Yeah. It's not us. I assure you it's not us.
And now...
The festival is like... We were sort of an anomaly at this festival, being a comedy, it seemed like.
Oh, were there some intense movies?
It's a very serious... It's much more serious.
Well, maybe they could have a category like on the stupid Emmys that makes no sense. Best comedy or variety TV show that also deals with humans. Isn't that the worst category? Okay, I'm doing it again. Not the Grammys. Did I say the Emmys? Forget it. I want you to take this whole thing out. Let's start fresh. 3, 2. Down from the Valley Studios. You do it better. Give me a little of that.
From the Thought Spiral Studios in Andy's imagination, it's Thought Spiral.
Hello, Floyd. Hello, east of the. Do you ever listen to West of the? What show is this?
Art Bell.
Give me a chance. West of the Rockies. I did listen to that show sometimes when there was nothing else on.
I used to listen to it when I was driving cross country between gigs late at night. Yeah.
It is it's a good UFO sighting type show.
Yeah, it's super spooky when you're like in the desert and it's dark.
And they always use words like, so I was looking at my speedometer or something. That can't be one of the words that impressed me.
You left some of your examples in New York, I think.
No, but some of these people, they claim to be experts and they use words from the Navy. I was 4 knots down and 6 knots across. When I saw from the starboard side of my view at exactly vector 7, an unidentified flying object, turned out it was my wife. Don't repeat that joke.
Okay.
No, don't. Why? You know what?
What?
You think you're better than me. Yeah, admit it. You think you're better than me.
You got to go do a set tonight. That's what got you up into this energy.
Oh my God!
I've just been on declining energy since for like 20 hours.
The fact that you would do this, you are mensch, and let me say other Jewish things about you that are inappropriate. You're a mensch. You stepped up to the plate, although that's not the metaphor I would use for it. You stepped up to the mics.
Yes.
We could always do this. Could be a show that's just as a joke is very short.
It could be. It might end up that way.
But so far, it's all in.
Yeah. So, your mom is good?
My mom, everybody I know is very old, except you.
That's a lot of pressure.
All my comedy friends.
Yeah.
So it's like, my mom, this was really fun. This was a good moment that I will treasure. And when you've had such a troubled childhood and life as mine, my mom could not figure out when I was coming to town.
Right.
So I sent her an email, and I'm very bad. I admit, I'm bad with everything.
Yeah.
But I did say to her, I'm coming to town.
You sent a 90-year-old an email.
Email is one thing. One thing, email she does.
All right.
In fact, email, it's like she's so compulsive in her own way. She has to erase every email that's in there, which is supposed to be how you're supposed to do it. You look at the thing, it's completely empty. Wow. Isn't that how the pros do it?
I don't think so.
So I sent her an email the night before. I said, I'm coming in tomorrow morning. I get in around 9 a.m. I'll probably be to your house around 10:30 a.m.
Do you want coffee, by the way?
I do. I didn't think you were offering it.
You just sat down and started talking.
I thought you wanted that. Here's the thing. I was reading the signals.
Okay.
Did I misread the signals?
I'm going to get you some coffee.
Okay.
Then we'll start this story over.
And we'll start the story. And remember where I was, right?
Yes.
And have you ever used any of these hilarious bits? Like when you're in the kitchen. Have you ever used them? No. Okay, because I just want to say, Josh, unbeknownst to Josh, I put medium roast coffee. I switched his dark roast coffee with medium roast coffee. Boy, will his face be red, because I also put a lot of niacin in there. Josh, I don't know if you want to keep these later for a week when I'm sick, but this is some good stuff. It's really good. 75 degrees downtown Los Angeles. You're listening to The Quiet Storm. It's Dan Fogelberg Tuesday. All Dan Fogelberg. All Tuesday. Yeah, and you said I couldn't do it.
This time I'm keeping it. You're right.
You know why? Because you're very tired.
I'm very tired.
And why not? So
9 a.m.
Right.
You said, Mom, I'm going to be there at 9 a.m.
No, the night before. I said, I'll see you tomorrow.
Put on your good house coat.
So what I didn't know, unbeknownst to me, which I like to say anyway, my mom had an appointment. She had to go out to the, who cares where she went? The doctor appointment of some type. She gets very confused. She goes, I woke up at 4 a.m. When's he coming in? I don't know what's going on. So then she went to the appointment, and when she was in the appointment, like, oh, is he coming? And then someone said, oh, I think he comes at night mostly. So when she came back from the appointment and she rolled in, I was like a thing where you do a good. It's like in the movie It's a Wonderful Life when he gets the hee-haw guys back. Uh-huh. It's a surprise, and she had a smile on her face. She was so surprised to see me. It was unbelievable. It made up for the childhood of neglect.
Beautiful.
But the smile was so great. I wish I could have bottled it and somehow made a hologram out of it. And so she was really happy to see me. Really happy. And here's what I'm saying. She doesn't get that way around the other kids. I don't want to say I'm the most
I'm still hung up on the end of It's a Wonderful Life when he gets the hee-haw guys back. But that's okay.
So don't they? He's raising the money and they go, and here's a letter from Eddie. Hee-haw.
No,
hee-haw.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I know what you're thinking. You don't want to wrap it up yet because It's a Wonderful Life season.
No, I wasn't thinking anything. It just made me laugh. And then I missed the touching part of your story, kind of. But I'm very glad your mom was happy to see you.
That was really good. But what if we find out 20 years from now that you have never been capable of hearing anybody? And that you'd never
I don't think
heard...
it'll take that long.
No, I was thrilled to see her. Here's what I'll say about my mom is that I keep thinking I hope everything reverses. But I don't know if it will reverse. She's like a little, she can't move around as much, but she can talk. But there's no point to wonder about what's going to happen. Is really the answer. It's a really weird disease, and I don't know if you know that she has Parkinson's.
I hadn't heard. No.
I saw Patton Oswalt tonight.
Did you?
And I had him do that a little bit.
Did you?
No, he didn't. But he does a good Edward G. I didn't explain it to him though. Saying. So it was really a great trip. Although one thing I did realize, and I could compare notes, not with you though, because you're much younger, but I've took the red eye, which maybe people are saying now, just for some reason, it always knocks you out more than any other kind of flight.
Yeah.
And I got in the morning, and I did not feel good. Didn't feel like at all any energy till Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
And
I haven't had good results with the red eyes in my life because I don't sleep really on the plane.
Exactly.
Yeah, the one good thing about waking up, I woke up at 5:15 for like a 5:45 car. The one amazing thing was from my hotel room.
Oh, yeah.
To the gate.
Right.
The gate.
Let me guess. And well, now I'm going to go low. 25 minutes?
45 minutes.
Ah, I see. I went too low. That's unbelievable.
From Midtown.
That's
Not
unbelievable.
from Queens, mind you.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah. That from Queens, I did get to the airport like in 25 minutes.
No,
yeah.
This is from Midtown Manhattan.
You keep lording it over me. Like, I always had a very nice place where I was staying.
That sounds good.
I will
Are
say.
your pennants still on the wall?
Did you know I have a dramatic story about that?
No. But I love it.
I mean, I don't want to go into it because, I'll tell you what it is. It's
Will you please go into it?
Okay. This is one of the big traumas of my early life. Was
my face just lit up.
Again, I can never remember how old I was, but I was playing with a New York Mets banner.
New York Mets banner?
Like a pennant, what do they call them?
Like a felt pennant?
Felt pennant.
Okay.
Right.
That's what I was envisioning on your wall.
And it wasn't football season yet, and so I thought it'd be fun to make a Jets banner on the other side of the Mets banner.
Okay.
So I went to the bathroom and I started drawing and doing all these things. I come out, and then about 20 minutes later, my mother hits the roof. Because I didn't realize that there was some ink that had spilled off of the banner onto the bathroom counter.
Okay.
Now, I'm just saying, look, I hope my mom doesn't listen to this. God bless her. In a normal family, you should not be yelled at for that, is what I'm thinking.
No, you get yelled at for that in a normal family.
At 7 years old, 8 years old?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so here's what happened. They locked us all in our rooms, and they wouldn't let us out until the person who did it admitted it. So we were there for hours in our bedrooms because I was too scared to admit it.
All right.
Because the first thing I heard was, Who did this? You're already the life out of me. Okay. You know what I said? I didn't do it. Did not do it. Not me.
Right.
Okay. So 2 hours in, this was my favorite part of the story. Not then. My sister's the oldest. My brother's the second oldest.
All right.
They too come traipsing in like the mob.
Into your room?
Yeah. They go.
Because they know it's you.
They know it's me.
Well, yeah, because it's not them.
But how could she know it wasn't Rob?
Because they're old enough to know what a liar is.
So they said, look, Andy.
We've got a life to lead.
I mean, it was almost like close the door behind them.
Right.
Brass knuckles.
Right.
We know we didn't do it.
Right.
We know you did it.
Right.
You just have to admit it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. So my mother got
Trumpian.
It was very Trumpian, but I was 8 years old, you son of a
But you
bitch.
still had Roy Cohn working for you, it sounds like.
That's what I said to my dad. Where's my Roy Cohn? So they finally let us out, but it was very traumatic to me, and because here's what.
So you've never confessed to it until tonight.
No, and here's what happened. Here's the type of thing in my family that would happen.
Right.
You wait for a good mood.
Right.
Like we're all. I remember a couple weeks ago we were all locked in our room. And somehow we're laughing about it. I think about it. It may have been me. I admitted the truth.
Okay. And?
They're laughing. They're laughing.
Okay, good.
But they don't. I think they don't know that I admitted it in that time period. I don't think they had that. I think I thought.
You just said it quiet enough while they were like hidden in the laughter.
No, for some reason I thought it was like a big thing. I'd gotten it off and they were cool with it.
Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. I did the ink thing.
It really was like that. Yeah, you already laughing? Well, how about this? It was very traumatic because it taught me that I was in the moment enjoying myself and didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
So I didn't see it coming while I was doing it, and I didn't. So then it taught me, you better, whatever you're doing, you better watch out because you're going to get in big trouble. And that was a normal occurrence for you as a child?
Yeah. I think every kid gets yelled at if they make a fucked up mess.
In the bathroom, a little blue...
I'm not saying it was a reasonable response. I mean, I think it's probably different degrees. I don't know how little a thing is. I think you might be minimizing it in your thing. You're remembering how fucked up you made the bathroom.
Well, first of all, kudos to you for standing up to my monstrous mother at that time. That's not what my therapist thinks, and I pay her better money than
Yeah, okay.
No, maybe if you saw that it was on... Okay, don't forget, here's the mom who I said, do you think if I put up a Christmas stocking, Santa will put something in it? Give it a shot.
Which is hilarious.
and then what's the payoff, though?
Nothing. Because you're Jewish, idiot.
But some years we had it, some years we... Give it a shot. Okay, well, maybe... Okay, I just can't believe that you're not, first of all, not crying.
Yeah, well, I'm crying, but not for the right reason.
So anyway, that's why you said pennant. I don't know why that came up. Are you glad you heard the story?
Were you happy with your artwork?
No, it was stupid. The idea was stupid. It didn't look like a Jets banner on the back of a Mets banner. Yeah. It's a dark banner to begin with. What am I doing? And here was the saddest part for me.
Okay.
A month later, I was at Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
And I asked my dad, can I get a New York Jets banner? And what did he say?
No, you can make your own, idiot.
No, he didn't say. He said no because of what happened with the banner. No, because of the previous thing.
So that's the punishment that you lied and lied and lied to avoid.
I mean, look, are you a monster? So you're telling me you had a normal childhood? It sounds like you were monsters. Minnesota, people who didn't face their own feelings, absolute monsters.
I'm just saying that as far as lifelong scars go, your mom getting really mad about you fucking up the bathroom sounds pretty pedestrian to me.
It's not. It wasn't, though. It's one of the 5 things I remember as being the most traumatic things. The Christmas thing was the worst.
Yeah.
But that one I never forgot.
Give it a shot as the worst?
The disappointment of Christmas morning.
You're supposed to be. You're Jewish. Every Jew is disappointed on Christmas
morning. No, but we had it some years and we didn't have it other years. It was inconsistent. Something is wrong with you. I'm really worried about you.
I'm very tired.
Yeah, but put your empathy jeans on.
I'm just trying to give you another perspective on all this.
Yeah, you're giving me. Yeah, why don't I go and ask Goebbels what he thinks? I wish I'd come up with a more newer reference. But I don't want my mom to hear this because she's not going to listen to this.
She's not going to listen to it.
No, but I get to show Susan the current cut.
Yeah.
That's going to be so.
Are you talking about the movie?
The movie. I went back to the movie because I thought like
you're not getting what you want from me on this other stuff.
It's not. It is true that I'm not getting. Well, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm not getting what I want. I'm thinking that, and I'm not someone who remembers all feedback for the rest of my life.
Right.
But now I'm thinking about Paula saying that when we fight, the show lags a little bit. Did you hear that?
Yeah, but I think she meant the real fights, the big fights.
Oh, yeah, that is uncomfortable. How many of those have we had?
Not that many. It's been a while.
Oh, it makes me sick to think about it.
I know.
Because you were so wrong to me. Why were you that way? You're a better person now.
Yes.
But I would have thought she would go, it makes me uncomfortable. She goes, no, the show's a little slow.
She hates conflict, though. She hates it. I know this about her.
How do you know all these things?
Because we've had conversations. and I listen to other people.
That makes sense. It's unbelievable. You're like so you're imaging yourself as some kind of like Dalai Lama style Jew, agnostic Jew.
Something like that.
Like, I think you would like people to come pay.
I was thinking Dolly Madison, actually, but
same
thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, and if you can come up with an older reference, that's what we're all about here at Thought Spiral. So Dolly Madison.
You're talking about fucking emotional scars from 55 years ago.
Jake, chum chum.
My mom yelled at me.
Oh, my mommy was mean. Now you start thinking about this other the podcast, and I don't know. We talked about it already, but it's like, some of these serial killers are fucked up. I mean, some of these people in general on these true crime things, they got problems.
That's true. Count your blessings.
Oh,
that's what I guess that's really what I'm trying to say with all this.
Now, are you still on cloud 9, or you never were on cloud 9? I'm pretty
excited about the whole thing. I mean, yeah. I know I was pretty dry about it at the beginning of the podcast, but I really enjoyed doing it. It was really fun to bring Allison to it. She was all excited about it.
It's great to see. I've never seen anything I've done in front and on screen like that, and I've never been, obviously never been in a movie, right, and never saw it on a screen. I
mean, it's a little bit, I'm wired in the sense of like, I was certainly watching myself, but I was also like in production head with it too. Like, oh, that could use some EQing. That could use some,
Now, should we? Now, I know that he likes your suggestion. Should we? Are there going to be more things done like that?
There is more stuff done. This audio stuff there was still rough audio stuff that he's working on that just time ran out for him.
The thing that I was very impressed with, though, was like, okay, for example, just to be specific, the things with the timeshare were unbelievably hilarious to me. I loved it. It came out of, and it really felt timeless. Like you were right there in the middle when you say fractional ownership.
Yeah,
it's just, and then I've said this before. Torito was on fire when he says, like, I did you buy your own? He goes, no, I just came the regular way. I just loved all those things.
I bought a ticket like regular.
I just thought that was so.
What I was really excited about just watching it was just that, the small jokes played,
That's the thing that is pretty amazing.
And the big joke, nothing big fell on its ass, really. I think, none of the problems were comedy based, really.
Right. And that's the thing, too. No, I don't know what people are going to say about it, but I'm not worried. First of all, if a review comes out in the New York Times and says, breaking news, Andy Kindler is the worst actor in the history I'm not saying someone couldn't hurt my feelings, right, but in general, there's only objection to this movie could be just little things. I mean, it works in its way as the tone of it. He really accomplished that. It wasn't just a visual thing. It's like all these things fit together in an interesting way that flew by too.
Yeah, it really breezes by well. It's I think it's paced good. It's
Esther Q was great.
Yeah.
Bitterman. Hey, Bitterman.
David Hayden Jones.
He was great. And I realized I had no idea who he was, and that's another classic.
Because you haven't watched a football game?
What do you mean?
I mean, if you watch any football game, he's the State Farm agent guy of.
I think that I'm spacing out on those commercials.
They're on so much.
Does that mean that you get residuals? Beep-a-deep-a-dee, stupid man alert. Yeah. But that scene, that reminded me of a Coen Brothers scene. I mean, it doesn't say I remind because you shouldn't have to say that. But when he's like putting you down for your thing and you're saying, no, that was a great song, slogan you wrote. That party to me, those people were so sleazy in a way that seemed different than I've seen before, and yet it made it like current in terms of bullshit.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I think there was he made good choices all along the line to not bump the audience out with things, the way cell phones can. And, he picked a sort of timeless.
That decision not to go with the time period where you have cell phones was so
there
great.
is a cell phone in it, but it's a flip phone, and it's just used in one scene. It's not like they're ubiquitous the way they are.
Right. And there's something that said 1996. It was like, it didn't matter that it wasn't like you were watching it for the verisimilitude of 1996.
Right.
You just didn't care about that. You didn't care what time period it was in.
Right. But if you put it today and you don't have smartphones, you're not portraying the world realistically.
Right. Well, that's true. But you don't miss it.
No, you don't.
It's like a lot of times would watch like hideous shows like Entourage and go, gee, I just can't take one more scene where the scene is, hey, I've got a text from E.
Right.
It's the movie's off.
Right.
You do in the old movies though. Even they did have lots of phone calls.
They did, but it was a plot point.
Yeah, yeah.
Getting to a phone was a plot point.
Yeah,
in the movie.
Or bringing it to the table in a restaurant.
And rotary dialing was 30 seconds.
That's when I was the best stage actor. When I had a lot of business, I could do the whole rolling the thing.
But did you talk to your brother afterwards?
He loved it. I don't know. Maybe I'm being overselling it. Well, I was very happy that he was there, and I could see him. It meant a lot to me that my brother and his wife, Sydney, came. That really meant a lot to me. And I just want to say right now, my sister's dead to me. Mother, dead to me. You know what? My father's dead to me for not appearing there. But I could see. Too soon. But I could see my brother laughing at the right things. And the only line that I thought was like, going to get a big laugh, but I ruined it apparently is what happened, is the line where it goes, there's not a lot of places to hide on a ranch. You can't like slip into a cave.
Yeah.
But apparently CJ said within seconds, I was so impressed with myself that I turned to the, to the crew and said, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I do say I just am so proud of CJ and the whole CJ team for making this happen, because it's the one thing in my life where I told myself, if this comes up again, I'm going to do it. And it came up and I did it.
Had you turned down a big role before?
No. Let me finish. Right. Let me finish. It was like, it could have been maybe not a UCLA movie or something.
Yeah.
But if something came along, I wouldn't question whatever it was. And then when I saw the script, I loved, I loved a lot about it to begin with. But I guess what I'm saying is maybe 10 years ago, I would have been so scared by all the money things not working out that I would have maybe self-sabotaged it or something.
Yeah.
The fact that I had said going in, I'm going to do it no matter what, it made it more easier when he was having trouble getting stuff together.
Right.
And I just want to say, Johnny Torito, it is not an act. And I mean that in the best way possible. He is just on fire as Johnny Torito all the time.
Well, now he's got an agent now.
So
he's
good.
working on a syndicated show, shooting in Baton Rouge for Warner Brothers. It's fantastic.
He told me, he kept saying, look, I may come out to the coast. He kept saying,
Yeah?
I'll see you on the coast.
I'll have my girl call you when I'm out
Yeah, I'm
there.
on the coast.
It was great to see him. It was great to see everyone.
And CJ might be doing another movie, and we've been all promised parts. I don't know if we have.
Yeah, he did.
He did you too?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I told him I needed bigger lines. I don't know what the character there was. I had a great time in New York though, and even though it was like, it's not cheap to take Lyft from my parents' house to Manhattan, I felt like through therapy and at the age I am, I finally felt like, Andy, you're an adult.
Yeah.
You're not going to whine about how much it costs to get in, and you're going to relax.
Yeah.
I was pretty amazed that I was relaxed. I didn't feel normally like I was trying too hard.
Right.
Maybe it was because there's literally nothing you have to do except look at it.
That was my weird pre-show feeling of like I have this big show coming up, but I have no preparation I can do for it.
Yeah, I kept having to remind myself that wasn't a pressure point.
Yeah, I was surprisingly kind to myself watching it, and that could be just me being delusional, but I wasn't watching it going, you should have done something different there. I wasn't watching it going, you sure look fat. I wasn't watching it with, I was pretty nice to myself watching it, which isn't necessarily my proclivity.
And the thing is, if something had hit you weird, you would have felt it, and it was so good everything was so smooth to me. And I just mean like in the sense that it was you were yourself in many times. And in fact, there was a couple of things where you reminded me of where you got annoyed, like you get annoyed with me.
Well, that's what I was playing.
Yeah. And I loved how much of an asshole I was. I just loved that part of it.
Yeah.
Man, I don't want to be typecast.
And that aspect of it was terribly fun to see us doing comedy together on screen was like,
it made no
sense. What the fuck?
You could not have predicted that it would happen.
No.
And who would have told me a year ago that this would be the number one podcast on iTunes, and that people would be buying us a cup of coffee at the rate of 5 cups of coffee a month? I would have said you'd pinch me,
right?
But the only reason I said pinch me because I was into that kind of a sexual thing then. 67 degrees. I'm the wild man. It's wild man. It's wild man.
The one thing that I felt that assured me that the movie was solid just as movie was Allison watched it without acting at all like I was sitting next to her.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean? There was no like looking at me or elbow. She was just like watching the movie. Also, when you're acting a scene, and I hope Alec Baldwin asked me this when I'm on the show. Yeah.
But when I'm walking towards you, it's not like it's going to feel like magic to me while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But it felt like, you could feel who I was, as I was walking towards you. I could feel how the interaction was going to go.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. I can't take it.
Are you telling you or me to shut up?
Me. It's me.
Good.
When I've said to you, shut up, it's always me.
No, it's not. No, that's true. When you say shut up, it's you.
Yeah.
When you say fuck you, it's to me.
No, yes, because I'm going to hate you before you get a chance to hate me.
Right.
For no reason at all.
Fair enough.
I had pizza.
Did you?
Many times.
Really?
Not that many. There's a place called Umberto's in Queens. I got to see my sister, too. I went to her house.
Yeah.
And she's doing good.
Good.
And she is having an amazing... I haven't talked about my sister that much, right?
No, you haven't.
Okay, well, I don't want to talk about that much.
She's also been having some problems, but she's doing good.
Yeah, she's been having some health... She's had health problems her whole life, and, a lot of health problems. And she was to the point where she felt really crummy every day.
Yeah.
And had no energy, nothing. And the pot is taking away her pain. It's it's elevating her mood.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to become a proponent of 1-to-1, like when you take a lozenge.
CBD, THC.
Yes.
1-to-1.
Because I would always poo-poo the CBD, but I actually feel it. This is like hearing an addict talk.
Yeah.
Now I think what combination don't you like, Andy?
Right.
But it. And I'm also proud of myself.
I like the combination of marijuana and my bloodstream.
What do you got? I'm proud of myself in a way because the little that I know about it, but I know that miraculous things have happened and it's an anti-inflammatory and all these things.
Yeah.
It is something that I think actually heals your system. It actually heals things. And then some of it's like the effect makes you hungry so you can overcome like chemo or something like that. But also the effect of being high makes the pain go away too, and your mood elevate.
Right. So 1-to-1. That's the Andy Kindler prompt.
Wasn't that your song? That's not a good song, right? 1-on-1, I want to play that game tonight. Hall & Oates, 1 to 10.
Is that what it's called?
One-on-one.
I thought it was Want I Want.
Oh, my God.
But
I hope it's not that.
You're probably right.
I think
you were alive.
Well, I always thought it was Baby, I'm a Want You. That is right.
Yes.
Right? Well, how did they get away with that?
A little thing called artistic license.
But Hall & Oates, okay, I'll give you 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Like, don't like. Either way, what would you say?
Not indifferent. I guess if 5 is indifference, I'd go 1.5 notches towards like from that.
I liked Hall & Oates, but more, I'd say they're better than Seals and Crofts.
Oh, God, yeah. Seals and Crofts, I'm okay.
Are terrible.
I'm okay without them.
But now, I can't be embarrassed that I listen to Jim Croce for 4 hours a day. Now, it's embarrassing.
I like Jim Croce. Still like Jim Croce.
Let me finish. But Seals and Crofts I probably overliked.
If you liked them at all, then yes.
I just love when people would put Jasmine in the song. Here comes the Jasmine and Jasmine with you. It's like you don't know what that is, that word, right? It's like crinoline. What a dream I had, wrapped in burgundy. These people are geniuses in the business.
Clothed in crinoline and smoky burgundy, softer than the rain.
That is such a beautiful song, and I love it because my niece is named Emily.
And when you ran to me, your cheeks flushed with the night.
You and a juniper in the land. I'm sorry I ruined it. But this juniper's in it, too.
Yeah.
It's spelled, if you look at the words, it's Jew. He really hated the Jews, Paul Simon. There's a whole thing online about it.
Me and Julio down by the school.
This is a 20-minute bit. When all else fails, we'll turn it into a 20-minute bit. I'm using a public domain song.
In the clearing stands obnoxious.
In the clearing stands obnoxious. And a schmuck by his trade. He carries the reminders of every insult.
Of every time his mom yelled him and cut him till he cried
I can't
out
believe...
in denial and his shame.
It wasn't me who put the banner.
It's my sister who's to blame.
And my sister is to blame. La 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 lie.
Lie la lie. Lie la lie lie.
Oh, that's not nice. That's not nice.
Lie.
How about that girl, that young criminal who lied about her elbow? That's a real criminal.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. When the judge, when you were
in kids' court.
Kids' court.
Okay, yes.
She'll never live that
down. That's where I always automatically go to when I think of us.
I love kids' court.
I do too, but it ain't no Fiddling Horse.
Whatever happened to us? No. That show, I still believe in. And the reason why I want to do that show eventually, because it'll make you crazy within a month, where you're sweating like a pig and you're distorted in some weird way. It could have been, we'll figure out a way to make it comfortable, right?
Are you talking about puppeteering?
Yes. You were in a lot of pain.
It wasn't a good situation.
No, you don't need that.
No. I would redesign the set when it gets picked up. Wink. It's not getting picked up, Andy. It was a web show that failed.
But it should get picked up. That's the thing that makes me mad.
It was magic. Go see it, people. Kids Grow with Andy Kindler.
Oh, God.
On YouTube.
I'm not someone who lives in the past, but the year I most like living in with regret is no. La 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 la. Oh, I have a set from tonight. I did well at the Comedy Store tonight.
Oh, good.
So we'll be able to. And I did a benefit. It's one of the few benefits, not every benefit, but sometimes I do a benefit and people get, they get less excited about. You know what I mean? They're not always easy crowds.
The movie Bilched apparently cleaned up at the Chelsea Awards, says CJ.
Huh?
Don't know.
What's it called?
It's called Bilched.
How do you spell that?
Bilched.
I love Bilched. First of all, what the hell? Bilched?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm assuming is we won nothing then, right?
I would think he would have probably led with our award.
He wouldn't bury the award.
No, probably not.
First of all, what were we up for? Best movie? They don't have acting.
I don't know. They did, I think, have acting. But I wasn't thinking.
Do you know that I won the Palme d'Or one year?
The Palm Door.
Yeah, I went to the Palm Door.
You went to the Palm and they gave you the door.
I don't know. You did better with it than I would have. You know what? Here's my thing.
I won the Spaghetti Pomodoro once.
Here's my thing. These awards, what do they really mean?
Why would you think we were going to get an award? Really?
Because I got fooled when I went to that web award thing too.
Yeah.
I did that but I'm Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
I was his agent. I was very proud of the work. And then it was one of these webby things, and they go there, and they say if you go there, somehow that could help.
Right.
And I actually got my hopes up because I was in the audience.
Yeah.
And Brent Weinbach, who's a hilarious comic, he won, and he didn't even show up.
Sounds
and
like
I just felt
the smartest of them all.
I felt sad about myself.
Yeah.
I felt sad.
I understand. That's why I wouldn't go out on the whole I might win.
I did it.
Limb.
I did it. I said. They said, "Yeah, if you show up, that helps." First of all, that sounds wrong.
Right.
Have you been Emmy nominated?
No, not personally.
Well, as a member of a show?
No. I mean, like Freaks and Geese got nominated for casting.
For what?
For casting.
Oh, that.
And Mystery Science Theater got nominated after I left.
Oh my God! You like rubbing your eyes like I'm doing right now? Oh,
I like rubbing your eyes like that.
Let me just say something. A lot of people have been writing in that there's like a homoerotic vibe between us coming from me. And the thing is, can a man record in the nude? All that for that joke?
Wow.
No, the joke was I came here in the nude every week.
Uh-huh.
Did I mention to you that my penis has a tattoo on it? Shorties?
Yeah.
I have mentioned it?
Yeah.
I did that joke the other night.
I heard you do it on at the table yesterday.
Who do you think was the most had the best set at that? That was a fun. I wasn't nervous there. A lot of times I get very antsy.
Yeah,
hanging around. It was fun to be in New York. And did your hotel live up to your? Well, not that you had but was it fun? The hotel.
Hotel's great. I went and had lunch with Frank Conniff on Friday, which was great.
How's he doing?
He's doing good. He looks fantastic. He's lost a ton of weight. He's got a jawline. He's got full circulation again. Life is good.
And
he had a quadruple bypass.
That's intense.
Yeah.
And where did you meet? Like, where does he live?
He's an Upper East Sider.
That's pretty cool.
Which is where he grew up.
He did?
Yeah.
Wow. He's a New Yorker.
Yeah. Well, his father was a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist.
Why am I the last person to know any of these things? What was his father's name?
Frank Conniff.
Stop. I understand.
Frank Conniff actually is. Frank is the only Conniff in the family because everyone mispronounced it.
Well, I understand that he was related to Frank Conniff, but what was his name? Did you ever meet him, or did you know him?
No, he died in the early 70s.
Oh, I don't know his writing.
But he was like friends with DiMaggio. He was a sports writer, and he was a sports writer. He interviewed Khrushchev. He was like this. He was on like What's My Line? He was like a New York celebrity.
I would love to hear more about him from Frank. Like does Frank talk about him a lot? Or
yeah, absolutely.
So cool. Well, we wish Frank Conniff the best. I don't know who I've turned into. Some kind of a Chabad
like
telethon.
Frank Gifford used to come over to his house.
That's fantastic. And also Greg Fitzsimmons.
And I saw him. I went to one of the Albert Maysles, the documentarian of the Maysles brothers, was speaking once, and he showed this archival thing of he had shot in like late 50s or early 60s with Jackie Gleason taking his train down to Miami.
Oh, why do I think I've heard of
and
this?
And it starts at Toots
Shores? Toots
Shores, where Frank's dad was a major Toots Shores regular and very close with Toots himself. And
you know what I'm surprised? Oh, maybe
but I saw Frank's dad. I mean, the point of the story was like one of the opening shots of this thing was this guy who looks exactly like Frank.
That must be so cool. Is his mom still around?
I think not. No, she died. In fact, back when we were doing Cinematic Titanic.
Wow. Was she also? What am I asking these questions? She didn't have to be a writer just because she's married to a writer.
No, but she was. She was part of that scene with Frank Sr.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
First of all, I don't know if I've said this before in the show. I love. I don't think there's anybody funnier than Frank Conniff.
Yeah.
To me, I love his tweets too.
Absolutely.
Hey, we've done incoming. Have I ever made a comment about a sound where you could hear it?
Very rarely. Very rarely.
Your voice is getting more Lou. I don't know if it's like Lou Rawls or Lou Dobbs.
Well, baby, let's go take a break and we'll find out which it is.
All right.
All right.
And
here's Andy Kindler from earlier this evening at the Comedy Store. Yeah.
A lot of comedy critics compare me to Joan Rivers, not because of my comedy, they just predict that I, too, will die during a routine procedure. I'm sorry, she was a wonderful person, so I shouldn't make fun. She was a wonderful person. The joke is she was not such a wonderful person. Oh, every joke was always, look at that woman, ugly, But we only had 4 comics back then, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It was David Brenner, Joan Rivers, the third thing. Folks, I'm on tonight. I'm on. I don't normally do well. At benefits, non-benefits, regular shows, I do not do well. I mean, it's really getting bad. Oh, I'm sorry. I got a little too much. I was joking. It's going so... Are you kidding me? First of all, when you turn 50, that's when your career takes off. Hollywood loves a guy who had a couple of projects 30 years ago and took a nap for 7 years and smoked pot for the 90s. And then he got ice cold. And now he's back, baby! When you turn 50, and I wish I had. If you turn 50, I have shoes that are older than 50 because things have not gone well for me. This is my new self-deprecating material. I'm the guy you love to hate, the guy you love to hate. But when you turn 50 in Hollywood, they're knocking down your door because they're hoping you're dead. They want to clear you out and put a new person in that Oakwood Garden apartment or whatever. And take my advice. If you're older in show business, pitch all ideas about aging because Hollywood loves aging. I'm pitching a show called Aging Jews. 10 Jews who are like over their best days. They're very depressed. Every week's a cliffhanger. Will Saul get his cataract surgery? And a lot of times at these meetings, they go, where do you see these characters in 5 years? And I say, dead! Dead! All right, folks, look. Let's not kid ourselves. It sounds like Bobby Bittman's new catchphrase. Bobby Bittman, Andy? Can you update the SCTV references at least to Kids in the Hall? Andy, we're crying out loud. Would it kill you to bring the crowd in on a reference? Philo T. Farnsworth! You know, Tom, Alexander Graham Bell was the first person to sarcastically say, hello! I invented the phone! Hello! The first time he tried the phone, it didn't work because it went to call waiting. This is what I do during jokes that I've done before. Keep the hips going. You've heard it. I've heard it myself. Maybe you'll enjoy it as I work out. What's the deal with playing cards? Now look, people. I'm starting to drop. I'm announcing I'm no longer doing my bicentennial material. So I'd like to announce that. But what is up with this Y2K? Am I right about this? Why not 2K? That's what I say. What do you think? At midnight, your computer's going to turn into a bowl of Jell-O. I can't remember the bit. All right, now look, folks. This is all a bit. I brought my B game tonight. I pitched an idea for a movie very similar to that movie Yesterday. My idea was this unknown ventriloquist struggling ventriloquist, this electrical storm, and all of a sudden, the world does not know about Jeff Dunham all of a sudden. So now he starts doing Jeff Dunham's act, and he gets ostracized from his family because he's a horrible racist. Now look, people, I'm not saying it's Dunham. I'm saying it's Ahmed the dead terrorist. Jeff Dunham wishes that Ahmed would stop. Get that right for Patton, boys. Where's Patton? Working on his set. I want him right over there going, you still got it, Kindler. I'm the comics comic, which means I'm unemployed. Oh, yeah, you go to Andy when you want to laugh. But not regular people. That's not what he's about. I've been playing a lot of escape rooms recently. Oh, they don't start out that way. They don't... You should see the panicked look in the face of someone trying to get away from my act. Adds so much more drama to the game. He's launching into more Jewish material.
Nice work, friend. Ooh, that's fresh comedy. Ooh, that's some fresh comedy.
Yeah, do you often? I mean, I didn't know I was such almost like a song and dance.
You're just like every kind of delight.
What isn't funny about me?
You're a single threat.
I think that's the thing. It's like that thing that made Louis C.K. so popular, so likable.
Yes.
Do you think if he hadn't exposed himself and all that kind of stuff, would he be one of the few examples of someone who was so unlikable, and yet I like to watch him? He was watchably unlikable before all the things came out.
I think he exploited his unlikability for comedy.
I think there's only so long I can go with this, though. The pre-Louis C.K. You had a good Louis C.K. line.
At the thing?
Yeah. I enjoyed that.
Good, thank you.
You don't want to tell people? What am I setting you up for? Like you're on panel?
It was just when she called me, when she said Weinstein, and everyone on my behalf corrected her with Weinstein. And it's like, it's showbiz. I don't do Weinstein.
I think
bad enough I look like Louis C.K.
It's like, you know how, we both would frown on, I know what you people are thinking. I'm the child of Schmecky
Right.
and Schmooky. This is like so tailor-made for what actually happened.
Yeah.
It's like
a line I've used in stand-up before.
Which one?
The Louis C.K. Weinstein thing.
Right. But the thing is, you couldn't have predicted it would happen. That's the thing that's amazing to me. People had enough trouble with your last name. Now you can actually say, you can actually, I'm not saying it's going to be a bit that's going to be evergreen.
Thankfully.
Whatever happened to that Weinstein? Is he in jail?
Eventually people will know how to pronounce my name, Kindler. Mark my words. Before we go on, I want to thank all the Thought Spiralers who showed up and
yes,
Amelia Fox, Stephen Elton Yates, Daniel Schwartz, Leah Beale was there. So, if there was others and we missed you, I'm sorry. Thank you.
It did seem like there was there weren't millions of people there without the Thought Spiralers. You know who I didn't see there?
Who didn't you see there?
Yo, she, I'm a mo, yo, I'm a mo.
He lives in Florida.
I don't care. Where was Perush? How come he didn't fly in? Where was Perush? He's not a real fan.
Why, Andy? Why?
Fuck him. Fuck this guy. Andy? Fuck those guys. I'm doing like I'm pulling the Howard Stern without the following. I love you, Purusha. That was a joke.
Okay, thank you. Now I can sleep.
How much is he putting in a month? Folks, a lot of people have been sending me emails, and they've asked me, Andy, why aren't you promoting the buy us a cup of coffee? And I said, I just don't like to promote. It seems self-promotional to me. But they said, Andy, why are you hiding your financial needs under a bushel? So please go there right now, and don't feel like...
BuyMeACoffee.com/Thought Spiral.
Yeah, and in other words, what you're doing is we're investing this. I've already bought new outfits for our sketches. You bought microphones.
Jimmy O's doesn't make tiny suits for free.
Small. We have a following smaller than the suits, or shorter, or smaller than the suits.
An audience that's smaller than the suits of Jimmy O's.
Oh, Emilio.
Jimmy O's.
Emilio. I think I sung Karen again. Did someone ask me to sing Karen?
No. Has anyone ever asked you to sing Karen? But you did at the table yesterday. You brought it up, yes.
And I sung it, right?
You did, sort of.
And I'm still disappointed that I'm not in tune. You need someone who will help you be strong. How about some...
Some what?
What's that?
How about some what?
Letters. All right. I was just joking with you. I feel like I destroyed the natural, organic way that you were going into the letters. It's my fault. I've ruined everything. You know, Andy, instead of saying sorry, you ruined everything, you stink, why don't you just focus on having better material, Andy? Okay.
The show writes itself. Zethdick the Third says...
I just want to say, I don't always say it, but I do love that name. And I also love Kenny Loggins the Third. Please shoot me.
Can I?
Kind of, maybe you could.
All right. Why didn't you guys get chairs at the premiere? What did you eat when you celebrated afterwards? We had chairs for the movie, just not for the panel.
Yeah. I felt...
Paula has an injured back. She got a chair. CJ directed the movie. He got a chair.
And you had a mic that went in and out at first.
That's true.
And what did we eat? I didn't eat that. We had meatballs.
We had a bunch of appetizers at a place across the street where we gathered for beverages.
It was show business. It's like a typical show business outing.
Yeah.
And we were celebrating. What were you drinking then?
I was drinking, what was I drinking yesterday? Bourbon, I think.
Did I mention that we split the check and everything?
You did, yes.
No, but the thing I didn't mention before the break,
yeah,
I didn't even have that much to drink. I'm basically paying for your 75 things on the beach. Do you have any sex on the beach jokes or something like that? Or let me ask you this: alternatively, is there a hot drink now? Because I always people like, hey, give me a skinny margarita, or get me a. Is there anything current? Moscow Mule, I think, is current. Oh, I hate myself. I hate myself, and not just in a. You know how they say it's bad to hate yourself?
Yeah.
I think I need to hate myself more.
I think
Look into it.
Some of those times where you're complimenting yourself for nothing.
Think of. I could go the other way.
You could average it out somehow.
It's cognitive behavior therapy.
Jeffrey Oliver says, will the Fiddling Horse be available on Netflix? We hope. As yet remains to be seen.
I think to not hope for Netflix, but is it a pipe dream to think it's going to have a limited run in the theater?
I think so.
Okay.
I think there might be. I think, as CJ has done with his previous movies, he's found some theaters that will run them.
So what?
But it won't get a theatrical distribution.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
All I care about is that I've always wanted.
It might. I mean, he hasn't gotten through that phase yet. So, but most likely it's not going to get a theatrical distribution.
I never said to myself, I don't know about you, I never said to myself, I want to see my big Jewish mug on a large screen. It's not something I fantasized about.
Come on.
Yeah, I did. And also, the only thing I feel bad about was the masturbating.
No, I thought your performance was okay.
Something, your wife didn't like it.
Don't do that on this chase.
You know what? That's so stupid. I could have gone over.
Yeah.
And you had to actually say to me, like you're talking to the a
Six-year-old.
A 6-year-old. Yes. Don't do that. No, there's no entertainment value. You're trying to save my goddamn life.
Exactly.
I apologize.
No need. Just 4 on the floor. Michael O'Connor says, are there any bands that you listen to now that you grew up listening to? For me, that would be Bowie, Pink Floyd, Rolling Stones. I would imagine that would be Grateful Dead for Andy, maybe Elvis Costello for Josh.
I got a million of them, right?
Yeah. Are there any bands that you listened to that you didn't listen to growing up? Is the real question, I think.
Is that the yeah, well, I'm trying to get into these, like, I think that I'm trying to get into the provenance of a lot of these songs, like from the Byrds and the Hollies and the Turtles. Mm-hmm. And I have a desire to hear some of these classic early albums of various groups.
Yeah. And you have this desire, but do you do them? Do you do that? Or is it just a desire?
The closest thing so far is that I had forgotten there were specific Grateful Dead albums that I loved. So I went back and got Mars Hotel and Wake of the Flood. And it was really good for me because I'm from the generation, or maybe you are too, but I only listened to albums. Like I only got music throughout. I have so many of things that I remember. This song goes into that song.
Right.
You know, not always like it's a classic even, but that's just the way I heard music. Right. So it was fun to go back and hear, and then there's a lot of more albums I wanted to do that with.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to listen occasionally to actual whole albums beginning to end because it does feel different than the shuffle world we live in.
Yes. And I saw Hannah and her sisters, and what is the band that plays in that movie? Is it the Ramones?
I don't recall.
But I want like a Ramones album. I want to start to get those kind of things. Like I don't know Ramones. I don't know the Ramones album. I don't know if I want to go into MC5. Should I go into MC5?
Not if you're not drawn to it. Just to say you have an MC5
No,
like a 16-year-old.
I'm not trying to impress my friends at parties. I understand what you're saying now. Me just saying, should I try this? How about I put that on? But I am like remembering that there are a lot of like not the Byrds, but maybe the Hollies. They have these seminal albums that I never.
I'm kind of the opposite of you. Like I mean, most of what I listen to.
You're an intelligent person?
No, well, take it however you want.
That's how I did take.
But like most of what I listen to is the same shit I've been listening to for most of my life at this point. I still will listen to Talking Heads and Elvis Costello and whatever, Paul Simon and all the records that I've collected, that are now digitized and in my hard drive, but I don't have a desire to go back and dig deeper in the past. My real hole is like post 2000 music, Yeah,
I see that, but I have this thing that I used to lie about everything. Yeah. I've seen French movies, so I'm not lying about everything. So it actually makes, but the truth is, I'm not familiar. Like I've seen movies, but I'm not a movie I haven't.
Right.
I don't have a deep background. I was an English literature major, but so I fancied myself. Oh, I'm an English literature major, but I've only read like 4 books. I mean, I've read more.
Okay, but you're 63 years old, Andy.
Can you cut this? Can you not only cut?
It's completely time to stop worrying about
cut this out?
What people think of you based on the music you listen to or the movies you've seen. You can just say, nope, I haven't seen it.
I'm not even just saying, can you cut this out, the segment? I'm saying, can you schedule a surgery where you can take that part of my brain out that just blathers? There were 5 or 6 or 7 times during that thing where I was like, just stop it. I don't know what I was even trying to say. I'm a person who likes to go back and I'm a completist. You ever hear that expression?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that from I got that from like Chris Ware about collectors.
Yeah. No, there's a reason we put out Cinematic Titanic on DVD.
Oh, because those are the words from that world, right?
Yeah.
Completist,
Yeah.
That's somebody who has to have everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, people are like that with my albums and work.
I've got the whole collection.
What do you have?
The album.
It's not an album, it's a DVD.
But it was also an album.
You're just depressing me more.
But I have the DVD. And I have a credit on it.
The only thing I've ever done, I had to have you do it.
If you want, I'll help you with this one too. If it'll get it out the door.
I don't know where you're going with this. Hey, you know what? Stop horning in on my unreleased projects.
Amy Justice Cat says thoughts about a new rabbi coming in and messing up every one of the songs that made services tolerable. That is fucked up. If you're coming into a congregation, learn their tunes.
When did this happen?
I don't know.
Is that at her temple?
I'm guessing that there's a little personal experience coming from Amy Justice Katz's question.
Well, it can't be that someone comes in and says, hey, it's going to now be Ain. Galahando, hoo-ha-ha-yee.
I think that is what he's saying.
No.
Yes.
No good.
Exactly.
NG. I believe I'm a man, Josh. I don't know if you're this way, but I believe the men should live in tradition, and they should get a Jewish accent down. I can't do accents. I can't do good voices.
Now, say we should all have universal health care.
We all should have universal health care. Oh, God. The worst thing about me is, like, if you don't want me to do a voice, just say, do the voice.
Right.
Because then all of a sudden.
It's the spur of the moment accidental ones that come out good sometimes.
And that's true. And I still love Dave Higgins, who does a great Midwest Jew. I'd like to thank Mr. Clink Clink. I can't even, why, just bring him on and have him do it.
Stanford Blake says, should Democrats keep donkey as their party symbol? Would you suggest a different animal? In Canada, we don't have the tradition of having an animal represent each political party. Doesn't stop us from colorful animal descriptors. Our national election is tomorrow.
Does it look like Trudeau could win? Because that's all I care about. He has to win.
Well, he can talk till he's black in the face. And we'll see what happens.
You know, they found out, and I was disappointed to hear this, that he slept in blackface for 10 years. When he lived up in northern part of...
But it was a tribute to the native Inuit people.
Just for some reason, he made a lot of tapes of him in his home in blackface doing Amos and Andy things. And he would say, hello there, Kingfish. Take that out.
No, I was...
Don't do that. It's Dumbo. That's how Dumbo, that part of Dumbo where you're liking it and then it goes, well, hello, we're the Black Crows, Dumbo. Well, hello there. Not good. I don't know why you claim that there's no racism in Disney. Are you watching Maleficent?
I am not, but boy, was JFK decked out.
I know.
Oh, my God. How much does that cost to convert a terminal to a billboard?
Who is that for? Kids? Traveling?
I guess so.
That's not an adult movie, right?
No.
And it looks like crap. I'm sure it's good. Can Disney come up with something else except for one horrible woman who's going to destroy or kill your elephant or kill your deer? I mean, is this what we're trying to? I'm done.
Wow.
Isn't that good?
No, it was really good.
I'm incensed.
It was super good.
I'm incensed.
I'm peppermints.
Incensed peppermints, whoopity bang. Of all of the Spinal Tap songs, I really love the one that's the 60s one. Listen to what the flower people are saying.
Listen to what the flower people say.
And then give me some money.
Velvety. Hi, Velvety. Says,
Hi, Velvety from Andy Kindler.
How was the premiere on Saturday? I regret I had to miss it because I was being sick since Thursday. I hope you're feeling better. Does the movie have a score or soundtrack? It does. Do you have a favorite song in the movie? There aren't actual songs.
There are no songs in the movie.
If the story allows for a sequel, would you join the cast again? I don't know.
I would have to wait. I would have to wait like 20, like a 20-year thing.
I would hope my brother Jim Weinstein would play the part.
And every time you say that, though, not that you say it all the time, but every time that comes up, I just start to think about the fact it feels like you targeted me in a way as an older gentleman.
I did?
Yes, like in other words, you got to have someone who you're going to be. I guess this is true with many of your friends, though, where you just laugh hilariously as they age and die.
You're the same age as a whole lot of my friends.
But I mean,
you're a little older.
A little older.
But not
Stop saying
a
it.
little older.
What? There are people older than me. That's my defense now.
Yeah.
You know, why am I can't. I always thought I wouldn't know. I know I'm getting older, and I know that I'm going to be commenting on it more.
Well, so will I.
But what is that a universal human thing? You don't want to die, or you don't, But why?
Getting old isn't for sissies, Andy.
But that could just be specific to my family too, because my father, all he talked about was that he was too old. It's over now. I'm old. Oh, I'm old. I'm over the hill. So that he instilled that in me.
Maybe he was auditioning for a buddy cop movie.
Wait, is that the cop who can't take it anymore?
He's getting too old for this shit.
And then what is the young guy? Does he have to be the edgy guy, or is the young guy could be playing by the rules?
He's a hothead who doesn't play by the rules.
I like hotheads. Mr. Weinstein? Mr. Weinstein, please report to my... No, Mr. Weinstein.
Here's Mr. Kindler.
Thank you. When I call you into my office... Am I losing it already? Mr. Weinstein. Please... Mr. Weinstein. Mr. Weinstein. Please. Thank you for visiting me in the hospital after I had voice amnesia. Mr. Weinstein, do you remember how I sounded when I was your boss and would call you in like you were Bob Cratchit?
Well, I remember it cutting through me like a hot knife through Jell-O.
What if instead it had been James Mason who I was doing? How about James Mason?
Let's not burn any James
all right,
Masons.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize. I know you're close with it. My apologies. Went too far.
Natalie Nicole says, Eric Stoltz was famously originally cast as Marty McFly, and my friends and I have always talked about how we'd love to see that alternate reality movie version of Back to the Future. Is there any almost castings or almost director versions of movies you'd like to see?
Well, just the one that's famous would have been interesting to see Grodin in The Graduate to me. Because he turned that down because he thought the pay wasn't good, which he was right about the pay.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he should have turned it down. But I think that would have been interesting.
I guess.
No, it's not.
I mean, I don't know that it would have been better in any way.
I don't think it would have been better.
I don't know. I don't know that it would have. I mean, it was pretty
amazing.
I would say Dustin Hoffman was pretty Grodin-esque in that movie.
True. God, I love Charles Grodin.
Yeah.
And again, midnight. Anytime you get a chance to see Midnight Run, see it. Can we have a segment on the show? And movie. It's like on Larry Mantle's show. Movie Week. Do you know Larry Mantle?
I do.
Yeah.
But do you think our listeners do?
No, I just wasn't making sure. I was just checking. It wasn't too mainstream.
The Hollywood Horses says, do you think becoming a fake real estate icon is a good career move as I approach my 40s?
I don't get. Is that who's that? Is he asking us?
Yeah, I think it's a Trump reference is what I feel like it is.
Oh, well, it's almost like that's a thing. What do they say when the thing itself is like almost it's the same thing you're saying twice?
Redundant?
Yeah, something like that.
You can say that again.
This. You know what this sounds like?
Horse shit.
The most depressing episode of You Bet Your Life. You know what I saw the other day that I loved it?
The least depressing episode of You Bet Your Life?
The Match Game.
Yeah.
It's like, I could see how people watch that every day. Because Gene Rayburn was funny, and all the guests were...
Forgetful Andy is so forgetful that when he leaves the house, he forgets to bring his blank.
Now, a lot of people are going to think because Josh is good at voices that he nailed that one. Richard Dawson is on it.
Yes, he is.
And Charles Nelson Riley is amazing on it.
He's fantastic.
Oh, man. And
I said his ass.
I'm sorry. The show's falling apart, and it's your fault.
That's okay.
I told you years ago I should do the letters.
Kirk says, how nervous were you watching the final cut of The Fiddling Horse?
I was not nervous. It's such a weird thing. Not only did I enjoy it, but I wasn't scared before it. Maybe because I didn't have time to think. And I thought I would be scared before it.
Right. But you did see a rough cut.
I saw a rough cut, and that actually made me nervous because it didn't make sense to me. The rough cut.
Yeah.
I couldn't see how it could make sense. So maybe I was trepidatious about that. Ooh, $7 word. No, maybe I was trepidatious. Would it all hang together? But not that much. And I think I trusted that CJ makes interesting things. It's going to look great.
Yeah.
Considering the budget and all that stuff. So, how about you?
No, I wasn't really that nervous. I was excited, and I was dwelling more on the surreal nature of it all.
Of the whole thing?
Yeah. I was more curious than nervous, I guess.
But because
it was just, it was so beyond my control at that point that I knew I couldn't, there's nothing I could do but watch. So I was curious if if I would think that it worked me being there the whole fucking time, that's the thing that, like, I felt like scene by scene, I did my gig, So my question was, starting with my baseline sort of assumption about myself that I'm not very appealing.
I feel sorry that you feel that way because it's not just because I'm sexually attracted, but I think it's a very Jewish thing. I have never thought I was, to me, I always was afraid I looked Jewish and all these things. Right. I think that's a very Jewish thing in a way, And also, neither one of us are Brad Pitt necessarily.
Yeah.
But what does that mean? Who cares? I do.
Well, it's just, it's not like, oh, I'm a Jew. It's not what it's like literally just my sort of baseline impression of myself in the world is nice enough, likable guy, but I don't see myself as particularly charismatic.
It's interesting because as you were saying that, here's what I thought. And believe me, I am anti-diets, weight losing, but if someone wants to lose, for whatever reason you wanted to lose weight, I think that your self, and like as you said that, I think your self-image even may be like, I'm not like I'm not like
my self-image is fat guy. That's my lifelong self-image. And this is the first time in my life I'm fine with how I look. That, like I said, I didn't spend any time going, oh, Jesus, when watching it on screen. Because,
well, you were able to use your body in the job that you did.
Yeah.
And so all the things that you were scared of, which now that I'm hearing for the first time, there's no parts of at some points when the rough cut, I was like, is Paula... Is seeing that much of Paula being annoyed, is that going to work? But it all fell together. So there's never a thing where you're like watching a Shakespeare play and you have a huge... If anything, I wanted more of the things. But because it all cut together, you're not even... it's like, yeah, you're in it all the way, but it's not like... It's just... I can't explain it. It just went so easy. And I know it's hard. It's really weird that we're talking about. It's not weird. If you goddamn listeners, you get in your own fucking movie. Stop. What's your problem?
It's weird that we're talking about it on microphones.
The whole thing is.
What's weird.
First of all, it's weird that we're still.
If it was just us talking, of course we'd be having this conversation.
It's insane that we're doing a show that 4 people have been listening to for 7 years, and we come every Monday, And it's like, don't bother them. They enjoy what they do, and it's a nice hobby for them. Right? Have I lost you?
A little bit.
Like as emotionally or
Just the free association thing against
okay?
Scott.
Let's get away. Okay. You know what? We can get past this.
Mark Turetsky says, I don't know if it's that woman in the supermarket was some kind of undercover buzz marketer, but she convinced me to buy some. And yes, it's a package of cotton candy grapes.
You know, someone sent me a picture of it. It's all great. I love it so much. And I really would love to see.
That's why I'm in a thought spiral for the cotton candy grapes.
Well, you see Liza Minnelli in this role, right?
Yes.
Could we do it? Like hire her? Not to mock her. Every one of my ideas. That might not be the worst idea.
Life is a candy grape, old chump.
We're like the Ken and Bob Company.
So whatever that is.
It used to be a morning show in L.A.
Dan Wade says, hey guys, happy Halloween. I have some apples I want to take out of a barrel of water, but I don't want to get my hands wet.
That's an interesting question.
Can you or Gregory Peck recommend a method for me to take them out? Well, there's always bobbing.
It snuck up on me. Bobbing. Bobby, would you like Bobby? Is Halloween? Can you say Bobby? It's Halloween.
Bobby, it's Halloween. Our favorite holiday. You insolent Jew.
You insolent Jew. I love every.
Here's your goddamn candy, you little insolent Jew pricks.
Used to that was an old Jew who only Jewed.
You once called me a warped, frustrated old Nazi. Well, what are you but a warped, frustrated young Nazi?
Oh, I love that sound. Nazi.
Miserable little Nazi crawling in on your goose-stepping hands and knees?
Dear Thought Spiral, could you do Gregory Peck as Mr. French in The Family Affair?
This is my impression.
Buffy!
Oh, I almost went back on the chair.
You almost did.
Ba-ba-da-ba-da.
Bobby.
By the way, I wanted to have this sound to you. These aren't all provincials.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of thing. I'm feeling down in the morning. I've got Medina Phil. Give me a little. What's the name for?
By the way, you know New York. Is that what fungal infections is it known for? By the way, I need to tell my doctor.
Fungal infection?
Yeah.
Am I missing this?
Yes.
Should it be obvious?
Tell your doctor if you've been to regions where certain fungal infections are common. I just wanted to know if there's any I should know about in your home region.
Yeah, you may be allergic to it. If you are allergic to it, you just might be allergic to it.
Jordy
laughed. I got your laugh.
I did. No, it was real. It was completely genuine, Bobby. Jordy says, congratulations on the premiere of The Fiddling Horse. When acting in film, what approach do each of you embrace? Does your acting tend towards Stanislavski method or more the Stella Adler school or what? It's or what? Let me tell you Andy's acting method. Please remember, please remember, please remember, please remember.
Very insulting. You know how sensitive I am. What would you now? Can you seriously? I took some theater.
I took some theater at the State University of New York at Binghamton.
But can you answer that question for real?
My method literally was don't do shit that actors bug the shit out of you doing. That comes from years of fucking mocking actors. So karmically, I was already in deep trouble with this whole role. But really, when it comes down to it, I was looking at every scene like a writer, going, what does this character have to do for the script in the scene? And then trying to stay within that,
The serious answer for me,
in terms of I do believe in the, and this comes from writing, is that, every character has a mission in every scene, essentially. So if you can stay to that agenda that your character has, you're going to pretty much stay true
Well, that
to what's
makes
going on. You know?
that does make good sense because if you think about it, you are saying to yourself, "I'm going to go into the room. I got to call Josh." You know,
Right.
that is how you're thinking.
Yeah.
So, and my only thing is the only really honest thing is about what I was schmooching about is I really do try to just not think about anything because anything I would start to put my mind on, it just starts sticking. So if there's anything, it's the remembering the lines thing.
But I didn't, I didn't find it hard to pretend. You know, you go in and you pretend that this thing is happening. You know,
that's pretty good because I would have thought you would have needed a ramp up to that kind of experience. It just was great. You know, it's like
as much as I haven't done real acting, I've written a lot.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And whenever you write a script, you're acting because you have to hear the line read in your head, you know? So the real trick is, can I get my body to do what my mind is hearing, you know?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think my analysis is not really on.
Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, Yoshi. Yamamoto.
Fooled me.
Yamamoto.
I was doing a They Might Be Giants thing.
I don't know them that well.
Andy, have you done the math on how much extra you've spent on weed because you buy rec instead of medical? Sure, this is a weird way to wish you a happy belated birthday.
Thank you for the birthday wishes. I just like expressions like rec or medical. No, I don't think about that much because the other thing is I'm just so thrilled it's happening. It's just so great. And
you don't like having the paper trail.
That's the main thing too. I do not want it does after all these years, what do I need? It sounds like stereotypically Jewish. How did Kindler get tripped up? He wanted another $4 off a month. So he went for the medical thing.
Right. Stand By Your Man says, "Gah, I'm still behind on episodes and forgot about the New York City premiere. I could have taken the train down from Boston. Hoping it was a blast and can't wait to see the film, gents."
Well, thank you. And also, it's coming everywhere now. Isn't it?
Well, it was in San Jose this past weekend.
Oh, I thought it was another place in the East
and
Coast,
it's
too.
going to be at the Snob Fest, somewhere north of Boston. Festival in the beginning of November.
Yeah.
So, so it's going to be at
yeah.
the Snob Fest. Stand By Your Man. You don't have to come down. You have to take the train up from Boston to this place. Michael Lapsley says, "Hi, I've been watching The Simpsons for 30 years now, and at this point it's mostly out of habit since it hasn't really been funny in over a decade. Is there anything you guys do, read, watch, eat, because you're used to it and not because you actually still enjoy it?" Well, nicotine.
I find that if I'm, like I noticed in New York, that I get very antsy if I'm preparing food for myself or a snack. And so, like, I have to put MSNBC, I have to have MSNBC on or something. But recently I discovered that I can put a podcast on, and that does the same thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes I just have to have noise. But there's nothing, for a long time, every Christmas I'd watch Christmas Carol and enjoy it again, and I would watch It's Wonderful. I can't do that anymore so much.
Yeah.
Go back to the same well.
Okay, so no, there aren't those things anymore is what you're saying.
Yeah. If you have to sum it up.
Oh. I don't know. I mean, Saturday Night Live ends up being sort of one of those things you watch just because.
Yeah, but I watch that as an actual tradition I still feel is legitimately could be exciting.
Yeah.
I have a need to have a thing that I look forward to. Like, my image is you looked forward to the new Columbo, but actually I found Columbo probably with repeats and everything. So, but I do like the idea, like for a while, I like the Tomorrow Show every night.
Yeah.
It's like, I do kind of hunger for whatever it is, Letterman.
Ritual.
What's that?
For ritual.
Ritual, and also a feeling like I liked but the Linda Ellerby had her thing. I mean, it doesn't last, or even Nightline for a while was a thing. I don't know if I'm saying I want something at night or I want something that you can return to.
Yeah.
That's the person who's telling you. For many people, it was the Daily Show, but I got tired of that format. I think I'm blathering. Some of the stuff I'm saying.
Carrie Whedon says, when did it become acceptable to like Fleetwood Mac? I just don't know what to believe anymore.
I've always loved Fleetwood Mac.
I've rarely loved Fleetwood Mac.
I love those two or three albums. Now, good point. I'll download those.
Rumors, Tusk.
No, Rumors and Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
And I don't go back to Tusk that much, but I don't know the early Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
But those two albums, which I think are Rumors, and is there an eponymous one?
I don't know.
Well, God damn it! Should I look for it?
I don't care. Carrie Whedon thinks they suck. It's pretty clear.
I think they were great. I think they don't get a bad rap, but the thing about it is rock music at that time started to become horrible, overproduced bands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In their case, I think their arrangements were amazing, and I think their harmonies were amazing. I think the songs were great.
I used to be friends with the producer of Rumors.
Who was the producer of Rumors?
Richard Dashit.
And was that done at Village Recorders on the West Side?
I can't recall.
How'd that happen, though? That you were friends with that person?
Friend of friend in the music business.
I stand behind that. That at one point I thought they were amazing.
Okay.
But I can't.
Why are you on your phone right now?
Because it's Rumors, 1977, and it's Fleetwood Mac, 1975. Those are the two albums I remember.
And what's the hit from Fleetwood Mac?
Okay, I'll tell you. Stop that. Never Going Back Again. Never Going Back Again.
Don't know it.
I don't know why it's listening out this way. Songs. You Can Go Your Own Way is a great song. You can go your own way.
But that's Rumors.
Was that from Rumors? I'm not good at this. Rumors. Yeah. Oh, you want the other one?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that would have helped if I knew that.
I said, what's the hit from Fleetwood Mac?
Why are we so testy? There's no reason why we can't love each other.
I love you.
I love you. Wait, okay, let me just get that goddamn song.
I'm moving on in 5, 4.
No, don't do
3.
it. Oh, Josh, I have a chest pain.
2.
Josh.
Stat.
I don't feel well. You're not saying you hate Fleetwood Mac, right?
I don't hate Fleetwood Mac.
And you like him better than more than Seals and Crofts, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
All right.
I hate you. What does the little kid say? I hate all of you. You're like a baby, like his tantrum. I hate you. I hate all of you. Hey, I'm eating here.
Greg Kelly says, I got pulled over by the St. Louis Park police last night, but got off with a warning before I had to drop Josh's name. Any run-ins in your youth? I had my only run-ins with the St. Louis Park police were when they were patrolling my high school for smokers. My high school had an open campus. You were allowed to come and go, and
that's cool.
And so people would step right off the property and smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And then the St. Louis Park police would come and give smoking tickets to kids.
Wow.
And then they'd go to juvenile court, and the juvenile court judge would throw them out and say how annoyed he was at the St. Louis Park police. The one time they stopped me, I was smoking. And like I'm walking through a parking lot having a cigarette, and this cop car pulls up and stops and goes, let me see your ID. All right, here. He's like, I want you to crush those cigarettes. So I dumped them out on the street. And crush them. So I crushed a couple of them. And they were kind of, all right then. And then they walked off, and I picked up the rest of them and put them back in my pocket.
I had the same thing happen in college, but it was with pot.
Yeah.
And I did crush them. I think I told the story before on the New York State Thruway. And I had a temptation to go back, but I was crying and everything like that. And you couldn't have gotten as much trouble for the tobacco as I could have gone to jail for the.
Because there was a gas station across the street from the high school who sold to everybody.
Right.
So,
I started when I was 12 over at Lenny's
with the
Five
weed,
and Dime.
with the weed or the
No,
cigarettes?
nicotine.
Did you smoke?
Oh, I smoked as a like experimented as a little kid in camp, and I remember getting sick.
Yeah.
And then I smoked briefly in college.
But you never had the habit.
I never had the habit, but I
Gotcha.
could see myself. I could see it in the distance.
Gotcha. M. Deadsome Leadsome
Yeah, little
says, now that you guys are international movie stars, who will you be thinking in your award speeches? Love the show, guys. Hope the premiere went well.
I think I'll do a thing where I forget at the end, and then I come in and I go, before I forget, I don't know what I'm gonna. I don't know, but I want to. Now I want to win.
Yeah. If I ever get an acting award, CJ Wallace gets full credit for discovering me. I'll give him
I like that.
forever.
I'll use the same one. I want it whatever you're doing.
Because I've been in shit, but not like that.
We're still answering things perfunctorily.
Well, what do you want?
You know what? This is the first real moment in 3 years. I asked Allison if she could hear us, and she said she doesn't hear us. I was the happiest I've ever been. I was like, oh my God, I've been annoying that I thought for years she could hear every time. I was like, God, great.
Dan March says, was there any point in your careers where you thought about running your own comedy club? What would it have been called? There's been absolutely no instant in my career where I thought I would like to run a comedy club. But if I did, I would call it like Milk Through Your Noses.
Mine would be Two Inside and High. Comedy Club.
Spit Takes.
Spit Take. Yes and.
It would have been Yes Andy's. Would be
Yes
your comedy
Andy.
club.
And now
Welcome to Yes Andy's. Try our plain wings. They're not spicy.
Look, hi, I'm Andy Kindler. And when I say that our spicy wings aren't spicy, you've heard me on the show, haven't you? I made you laugh through pure effort.
That wasn't. That was me. That was actually just me making a polite noise while I looked for the next question.
God, if I had a dollar,
Why? I can't lie to you, Andy.
if I had $1 for every time I had $1.
Luke Hawley says, do you remember the time James Mason went on the Dick Cavett show and gave his moving rendition of The Man from Nantucket Limerick?
These are starting to get criminal. I'm gonna have to pull you over.
I don't remember that happening, actually.
The one, yeah, that was a man from Nantucket.
Yeah,
That was me doing Peter Lorre.
it was. There was a man from Nantucket
I think people are asking us to do these now.
whose oyster was so loose he could shuck it.
That's how much love you have for that.
Yes.
And you have as much love for that as I have for Bulmer.
Seth Dick III also says, I was at a gender reveal party with my good friend Rebecca, and she said James Mason would bore people on set about his love for Steely Dan. Seems
Oh my God. How complex. You need like a Venn diagram. We need a Venn diagram.
Perhaps you don't understand the driving funk of Skunk Baxter. Perhaps you don't understand that the mix of Fagan and Becker makes a certain hell broth of funk and jazz that can't be replicated by black men.
What if we're at the Minnesota State Fair, me and you, 20 years from now, doing our greatest hits?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Thanks. All right, then.
No, I didn't mean. Did I really fuck it up with that?
No.
What kind of a person am I to ask you that? You don't control me.
We'll close with Dana Schwartz saying a response to Velvety's question where she asked if there was a sequel, if we'd be in it. Dana Schwartz says, sequel? I don't know. At the end, the audience died laughing.
I like it. But I don't want Dana Schwartz to get a swelled head because he has the Bitterman hat.
Right. He did sort of do some cosplay, some Barry Bitterman cosplay.
Now I feel like we can't end the show because you're angry with me or something.
I'm not angry with you at all.
Shut up.
Oh, my God. I'm angry that I'm awake.
You know what? I'm not doing well. What am I paying? What am I paying her for if I'm still this insecure? What am I paying
Ladies
her for?
and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure attempting to entertain you this week.
What am I paying you for? It's not a good idea to be with you. No. So, okay, you wrap it. Okay, give a good closing statement. Or do you have a good closing letter? Or why should we?
Do you want a closing letter?
Not really. No, sure, if you do.
I don't know.
No, we're good. Look, this has been a triumphant week. What do we got to top it? How can you top it? And I had a good set at the Comedy Store tonight.
That feels good.
Oh, don't forget, everybody, while he's looking, or I have things to plug now.
Well, Jeff Oliver just sent us a nice piece of graphic art, a little poster of our show. Stinkburger Incorporated presents Thought Spiral. 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 spicy. J. Elvis Weinstein as Foster Brooks, Orson Welles, Joseph Mengele, Michael Lindell, Liza Minnelli, and many more. Andy Kindler as himself. New episode every Monday.
That's cool.
I think you got this from our picture from yesterday.
Wait a second. That's like it's catching.
That's fresh. That's fresh.
It's
is what
catching
that
on.
is. That
It's
is
catching
fresh.
on.
That is fresh. Man, this was a disjointed show.
You know, yeah.
We're high on ourselves. We're high on tiredness. And
I'm
Andy's
on
high
vigil.
on trucker drugs.
He doesn't know what he's missing, and I'm going to explain to him after the show. What am I going to explain to you? When have I ever explained anything after the show? Mostly I'm like, how do I get home from here? I want to thank everybody for coming to the premiere and all kinds of things like that. But also, I have to say that I am going to be in Seattle at Laughs Comedy Club Friday, November 1st. When is this coming out?
Before that.
And then November 6th, I think Thursday, November 6th in Houston for the Come and Take It Festival, and 7th and 8th at the Comedy Loft in Lincoln, Nebraska. And I don't think I've ever in my whole life had one of those kind of things.
That was like a promotional trance you were in. That was
I know.
fantastic. Oh, my God.
What do you think of my new Closing My Eyes shtick?
It's very Gilbert.
Wow.
I'm at the Comedy Loft. All right. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this for any reason,
Do we have anybody to thank?
we don't have any new subscribers this week, so that, you know.
And don't feel bad about that.
No, we want to thank everybody who's given us coffees and everybody who's now been charged for their second month of
That's very much right. And forget that my mother's
membership.
sick.
And
Don't
forget
let
his
that
mother's sick.
affect your decisions.
My album is called Chunks, and you can get it anywhere that they make sound stream at you. Our email address is thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com.
Did you almost say Stinkburger?
I almost did, yeah.
I'm funny.
Say it again, because I ruined it.
thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com. If you want to just help us without any money or any fuss or muss or payment schedule, just go to iTunes, leave us a nice review and 5 stars. If you want us to stop talking, well, your wishes come true.
I'm going to let you take that.